A horror moment envelopes the military base when BTS's Jimin officially transfers duties to a new division. The sudden decision that required Jimin to leave the Fire Direction Center, FDC, unit made the atmosphere at the base change drastically. In the midst of the emotional atmosphere, Jungkook, a fellow BTS member who now serves as a cook in the military, was seen escorting Jimin to the base gate with other soldiers. The tears and sadness were unstoppable, creating a moment of farewell that moved the hearts of all those present. Jungkook, who is known to be very close to Jimin both as a colleague in BTS and in the military, looked very emotional as the breakup took place. Some of the soldiers who accompanied him revealed that Jungkook was almost speechless as he tried to say goodbye to Jimin. He could only hug Jimin tightly and say, "Take good care of yourself there." "It touched all of our hearts," said one of the soldiers who witnessed the incident. Haru's tears did not only come from Jungkook, but also from Jimin's military colleagues at the FDC. During his tenure, Jimin has become a highly respected figure for his example, hard work, and humble attitude. The soldiers said that losing Jimin was like losing a brother, as well as an inspiring leader who was always able to bring passion into every task. He always made sure we were okay, even in difficult times. "His presence makes us feel like family," said a young soldier who was seen shedding tears. Many admitted that they were not ready to part with Jimin, especially since the announcement of the transfer of his duties came so suddenly. The order for Jimin's transfer to the new division was released only a few days earlier, and the reason for this is still a mystery. The military source only mentioned that the move was part of an operational adjustment, without giving further details. However, the atmosphere at the military base indicated that this decision felt heavy, both for Jimin and those around him. Jungkook, who had previously been seen chatting and joking with Jimin during the break, looked very lost. In a moment captured by the military's internal cameras, Jungkook is seen wiping away tears with his uniform as Jimin walks towards the vehicle that will take him to the new division. The other soldiers paid their last respects by standing firmly along the path to the gate, while Jimin walked with steady steps despite his face showing sadness. This is a very difficult moment for all of us, especially for Jungkook. They are two very close people, and seeing them have to separate like this is really emotional, said a senior soldier who accompanied Jimin. As a cook in the military, Jungkook is known to be very dedicated and often becomes a figure who breaks the atmosphere in the soldiers' dining room. Jimin's presence at the base was one of the things that made Jungkook's task feel lighter, especially because the two supported each other in the midst of a challenging conscription period. This farewell, for Jungkook, was a moment of great loss. "I know he's strong, but losing a guy like Jimin must be hard for him. They support each other here, and now Jungkook has to go through his days without Jimin," added a military colleague. Fans who heard the news felt the same sadness. On social media, hashtags such as ***, Stay Strong Jungkook, and #GoodLuck Jimin** became trending topics globally, with thousands of fans sending messages of support and hope for both. This is not only a farewell between two BTS members, but also between two friends who support each other. "We knew they would be strong, but still, it's painful to see," one fan wrote on Twitter. Until now, there has been no official information about Jimin's new duties in his new division. Some speculated that he might be placed in a more strategic unit given his outstanding ability, both in leading and performing operational duties. However, some suspect that this move may be related to his position as a public figure with global influence. Whatever the reason, one thing is certain: Jimin will face a new challenge in a new place anyway. In his last message to his colleagues at the FDC, Jimin is said to express his deep gratitude for the support and togetherness during this time. "I will never forget you guys. Thank you for being part of my journey," Jimin said in a trembling voice before boarding the vehicle that took him away. For Jungkook, this farewell is a reminder of the rigors of military life, even for two global idols like them. Despite the wait, Jungkook carried out his duties with professionalism. Although it was obvious that he needed time to adjust without Jimin nearby, this breakup story leaves a big question on everyone's mind. Will Jimin and Jungkook have a chance to meet again during their conscription period? And how will their lives change after this separation? In the midst of grief and loss, One thing no one doubts is the strength of their friendship. Despite the distance that now separates them, fans are confident that the two will continue to support each other, even from a distance. Their journey as warriors may be full of challenges, but the love and support of fans around the world will always be a great force accompanying them. The breakup that occurred between Jimin and Jungkook caused not only tears, but also a wave of controversy that shook the world of BTS fans. As time went on, rumors and speculation as to the real reason behind Jimin's move to the new division grew, and many began to wonder if there was more to it than the operational adjustment, reason officially presented by the military. BTS fans, who have always followed their every step closely, began to express their disappointment at the vagueness. Many felt that Big Hit Music and the military were not transparent enough in revealing the reasons behind this sudden decision. In fact, some fans are beginning to suspect that there is a hidden reason that has not yet been revealed to the public. Is it possible that some political element or outside pressure influenced the decision? Why did this separation have to be sudden? Why did Jimin have to be moved so deeply? Does this have anything to do with his status as a very famous member of BTS? Wrote a fan on Twitter, including the hashtag Jimin deserves answers. Some other fans also began to question whether there was pressure from certain parties to separate Jimin and Jungkook, given that they are two important figures who have great influence in the entertainment world. According to sources close to the situation, internal tensions between members of the military and Big Hit Music began to emerge as the decision was taken by the military. Some inside the base stated that the decision to move Jimin seemed not to consider the moral condition and spirit of the soldiers who had worked with Jimin all this time. Many felt that the decision was made without caring about the psychological impact on the rest of the unit members who greatly appreciated and felt inspired by Jimin's presence. Jimin is the one who motivates us all. Suddenly, he was removed without any clear explanation, and that left us feeling disappointed and confused. Something is not right behind this, said a soldier who was directly involved in the interaction with Jimin at the FDC. According to him, this decision feels very unfair and makes many people feel treated with disrespect. In addition, a number of soldiers who supported Jimin also felt that this decision could have been affected by outside pressure, including factors related to Jimin's influence as a global idol. Some have suggested that Big Hit may have chosen to move Jimin to another unit as a move to reduce excessive public attention towards him, or perhaps to maintain BTS's image in the eyes of the public. This further reinforces the allegation that this decision has more to do with the image of the entertainment industry than with the real needs in the field. Beyond speculation about Big Hit's influence, some suspect that the reasons behind this decision have to do with political pressure or military strategic considerations. Many felt that Jimin, who had great influence as a member of BTS, might be considered too famous to be in a certain military division. Some within the military are reportedly concerned that Jimin's popularity could affect internal structures or make the situation at the base too concentrated on public figures. The military cannot allow a celebrity to be the center of attention in a unit that is supposed to be focused on duty. It is possible that they feel Jimin should be moved to maintain balance and order at the base, said a military analyst who asked not to be named. However, whatever the reason behind it, one thing is certain is that this move raises more questions than it answers. Is this really a decision based solely on operational necessity, or is there a bigger hidden reason? Given Jimin's status as one of the most recognizable members of BTS in the world, it's hard to imagine that this decision could be entirely independent of his popularity. The obscurity surrounding this decision further increased tensions among fans and the public. Without official clarification from Big Hit or the military, rumors and speculation grew rapidly. Is this all part of a grand strategy that involves operational adjustments within the military body, or is there outside pressure that the public doesn't want to know about? Some have begun to mention that Big Hit, which has always maintained the privacy of its members, may not want to disclose more details for greater reasons, perhaps to maintain good relations with certain parties. However, one thing is certain is that the moment of farewell, which should have been an ordinary step in the life of a soldier, is now in the spotlight.